Hi guys! Oh my gosh, so today, hold on. Oh my god. It looks like there's something on my mouth. That's a freckle, it's just really bad placement. Hold on a minute guys. It's not gonna work. Guys, hold on, please. There we go. So today, shit, my door's open. I don't want to be too loud, my brother's sleeping. So today, this is a very important video. School's starting soon. I'm going to be a senior, and state law for schools now requires kids to come up with a voice of the graduate. It means that we need to come up with a portfolio of why we're basically allowed to be an adult in society now. It's supposed to be like a little resume to get into college also. So you're supposed to put things that you're passionate about, things that might relate to your career. So today I have I made a essay about climate change and also the ocean, because this was a marine science class and environmental science class. Both are different. I took two separate ones. Anyway, doesn't matter, but it combines both of them. I'm really passionate about climate change, and I think one of the career choices for me in the future is environmental science and earth sciences, humanitarian kinds of degrees, minors and majors. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works, guys. I want to shut this off. Don't want it to be too loud. So, I made an essay paper. It is moderately long. It is 14 pages. However, about 5 of those pages are just citations. I want you guys to read this or listen to me speak it. I'm gonna put like a link to it in the description, so if you feel that it's easier for you to read it while I'm speaking, possibly, or just read it by yourself, please comment if you think that I should add something, because I want this to be as extensive as possible. I want this to be a very impressive essay. It's very long. I worked hard on this, and I tried to do as much research as I possibly could. I made this 30th of March, 2023. You have to follow MLA formats, and it does have my real name on it. My real name is Samantha Rose, and I've never said my real name, to be honest, out of like the fucking 9 years I've been on YouTube, because I was always told, don't tell anyone anything about you, because there was a lot of fear. Honestly, at this point, I bet you could just go anywhere and just find information on people, so it doesn't really matter. It'll be on the essay. So the point of this is to give me any feedback, and I was also worried at first, like, what if someone copies me? What if someone plagiarizes this? I really hate for that to happen, because this is my essay, okay? But this video will exist, and this part will be in saying that I know this might happen, and I will mention it, okay? And this is not a good source. Don't use this as a source for your own essay, because I'm not a credible source. I'm 17. I wrote this when I was a junior in high school, so it's probably not that credible. But I worked hard on this, okay? So please, tell me what you think in the comments, okay? Tell me what I could improve on. So, go to the link in the description. You can click it while I read, and let me begin. Also, if you notice by my name, it says add effective increase in carbon dioxide in humans, 16% decrease brain function. There are certain things. Also, I'll try and I'll allow commenting, because I made the link public to anyone who has the link. I mean, made the essay public to anyone who has the link. So hopefully it'll allow commenting. I don't remember how it works. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 5 p.m. So anyway, this is really important. So tell me your thoughts. So we're gonna begin reading now. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. Samantha R, Miss J, Marine Science, 30th of March, 2023. So this essay is called The World's Battle Within Itself. I feel like it's really cheesy, Like, I feel like I don't really like that, but I can't find the right one. And my teacher was like, get a more creative one. So I was like, okay, I'll go with this one. So, I also have graphs. You might want to look at that, but I'll try and explain it as well. I haven't read this in like a few months, so. Okay. So, the introduction. By the way, I think I should be getting rid of the words introduction and second paragraph, stuff like that. But it was just to help me also. I have colors because it helps me differentiate between what I'm looking at. I gotta get rid of that too, which I don't think is fair, but anyway. Introduction. Anthropogenic climate change, or humanity's effect on climate change, is a global issue that has had a recent increase in destructive symptoms. It is a long-term temperature trend that affects all of Earth's surfaces and inside, to a relative extent. Graphs show that the Earth is getting hotter since the Earth has been getting hotter. That's correct grammar. The Earth has been getting hotter since 1918. Also, I have trouble reading numbers and reading in general, so please stick with me because I can't read. After the end of the Second Industrial Revolution, which brought the implementation of the use of fossil fuels, synthetic materials, global use of automobiles, and gas-fueled transportation, which is the main reason that people think that climate change has been getting worse. But we will get into that later in the essay. Scientists calculate the average global temperature by measuring the changes in each area over time. Similar technology that is used to report the weather forecasts, climate models are used to analyze the average climate changes and predict what could happen in future climates. So, talking about the first graph that I show here, Global Land and Ocean Temperature Index. As you can see, temperature anomaly to the left in Celsius is the change in Celsius. As you can see, it goes from negative 0.4 to 0.6 all the way at the top. That's a lot. Celsius numbers are a little bit smaller than temperature. I mean, Fahrenheit numbers, because everyone else uses the rate system. At the bottom is the dates. And as you can see, what are you eating, Millie? Okay, sorry. Since it looks like about, okay, well, I think the point here is that the little green bar, the first green bar, is when there's the biggest dip. Actually, wait, no, that's not true. The biggest dip is like 1910, I think. So I don't really know about that one. That one's not important. I think what it's saying there is that's when it begins rising for real. So about 1890, we'll say 1891, it starts rising. There's a huge big increase in the 1900s, which is probably the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. It goes down all of a sudden. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember why. Stick with me here. It steadily rises until 1945, maybe? Then there's a drop, there's a bit of a drop, and ever since then, it hits about 1980, maybe 1983. Ever since then, it's been going up and up and up. And you could say it starts at about, like, 1975. It just keeps going up. And the 5-year mean is like the average. So you can see in the graph it's going up very much. And scientists don't for sure know why. But we can continue to learn about what we could do, things that we could help. Maybe none of this we're doing is going to work. But we'll know then. And what we do have is this knowledge that something is happening. So, we'll get into more of that later. The second graph is, on the left, it says difference from 1901 to 2000. 2000, that's the year, right? Okay, sorry. In Celsius again, because Celsius, everyone uses Celsius. You can see, there's a dip for some reason. There's dips. It's not like, it kind of looks drastic, but it's kind of weird. It's temperatures, you could say, well, clearly the temperature has been changing. But, again, like we're saying, about 2020, which is where this ends. And by the way, there will be a little bit more of a dip going down as the coming years come, hopefully, because people are becoming more environmentally conscious. People care about that a lot more. And obviously you can see the red is it's increasing steadily. And not even steadily, it's been increasing rapidly, very much so. So let's continue. Previous records suggest that there's a steady climb in global temperatures. I should say rapid climb. The year 2020 statistically tied with 2016 for the hottest year on record since record keeping began in 1880. The source is NASA, GISS, Climate NASA 1. By the way, I'm not going to do the friggin' goddamn thing where people are like, oh, you can't trust NASA because we can't be doing that right now, okay? 2020 statistical tie for the warmest year on record. That's basically what the other graph is. Maybe I should just get rid of the other graph, to be honest. But, well, I'll deal with that later. Known as the Earth-Sun energy balance, or Earth-atmosphere energy balance, this is the idea that Earth can maintain a stable climate by reflecting radiation from the sun back into space. The heat maintained in the atmosphere is called the greenhouse effect, which hasn't always had a negative connotation. The greenhouse effect keeps us warm. However, as the burning of fossil fuels has put more than 34 billion tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere every year, we have started to draw a connection between the warming of the Earth and human interactions, specifically with fossil fuels, again, around the start of the Industrial Revolution. There was multiple, by the way, but we're talking about the main one, fossil fuels, automobiles, stuff I already talked about earlier. Next paragraph. But why did it take so long for a layperson to recognize the global temperature changes? And why are these changes an issue? Scientists have known about the possibility of climate changes and what humans could do to affect it for millennia. However, by the way, I don't really know where the millennia came from. I'm going to be honest, I don't have a source for that, so. However, wait, what is even a millennia? Is that 100 years? That's oh Christ, I don't know. However, in 1896, the Swedish scientist, Svante Arrhenius, 1856, 1927, I think that's his birth and his death, became the first person to imagine that humanity could change the climate on a global scale. Live Science 1. He also, there's suggestions from one of my teachers. I don't know if that'll show up in your thing, but he's saying that I need to put a period after the citation. I don't know if that's after the parenthesis or if that's inside the parenthesis, but I keep making that mistake. So he used other scientists' work, like Joseph Fourier, who thought that the Earth, maybe I should learn to pronounce those names, who thought that the Earth would trap less heat without an atmosphere. And if carbon dioxide can't escape the atmosphere, it will increase the warmth of the Earth. When these gases are released into the atmosphere, especially continuously and on a large scale like a factory, there is enough of these gases, called greenhouse gases, to trap rays from the sun for a longer period of time and give the atmosphere a higher level of absorbance before they can escape Earth's atmosphere. But climate change was not seen as a big problem at the time, as there were less human consequences on the Earth as there are now, and there was less people. Science and technology are also more accessible to the general public currently than it was in the 1900s. I was going to say something and I forgot. Christ, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be making this video so late, but I'm sorry, I just heard something really weird. I'm going to continue because I'm going to get freaked out. Humans, animals, and the ocean. I don't know if I should keep that part in because that's like, I'm introducing the next part. I like those ones. I like how it has the little things because I know what's coming. But they don't want you to do that, so it's annoying. Anyway, humans, animals, and the ocean. I need to make this one extra long because, again, this is an ocean, like a marine science class. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot. I need to involve the ocean in this way. And that it's a good point, like, the ocean does have a big part in climate change, so let's talk about it. Climate change affects everything to our houses, our quality of life, the oceans, animals, and our own health. Global warming is happening too rapidly for life to adapt to the new environments. It is known that higher temperatures cause air purity to diminish, meaning there will be more allergens in the air. Higher temperatures have also caused plants to start flowering earlier in the spring. This can cause problems for all that rely on flowers for nectar and pollen. Bees, butterflies, moths, dragonflies, and birds are all at risk for starvation because their food source will be depleted by the middle of autumn. The average date for the first flowering between 1987 and 2019 is 30 days earlier than the average date from 1756 to 1986. DW. I don't remember what that is. What has been called a wildlife collapse will start at the flowers, particularly at risk because of drought and flooding, and damage from late frost. That really upsets me. The ocean is an important factor as it affects most of our water supply and rain. Acid rain, caused by high doses of carbon dioxide in the air, being absorbed through the ocean. Wait, hold on. What? Acid rain caused by high dosages of carbon dioxide in the air being absorbed through the oceans. Oh, okay. Can change its pH, causing further deaths in inhospitable environments. Oceans are a great holder of CO2. However, when rapid amounts of CO2 are released, the ocean becomes too acidic to neutralize it. In the past 200 years alone, ocean water has become 30% more acidic, faster than any known change in the ocean chemistry in the last 50 billion years. Smithsonian 1. This will lead to animals like oysters, crabs, snails, mussels, and corals to disintegrate in the acidic water. Also, I don't know if I talked about this in this part of the article, but we are losing a lot of species of salmon and other fish because they just cannot evolve rapidly enough. So we're also going to be losing a lot of food. Underdeveloped countries are going to be hit the hardest because obviously they don't have that supply. They usually have to farm and hunt for their own food, so they will be hit the hardest, and there will be a population crisis eventually. I think I'll talk about that more here. So as you can see, there's a little graphic here. Healthy shell, normal pH. Smooth ridges, clear shell. Damaged shell, lower pH. Ragged, dissolved ridges, severe abrasions, and cloudy shell. Ocean acidification can dissolve calcium carbonate carapaces? Carapaces. I think it's carapaces. Rendering them unprotected. Eventually, if it gets bad enough, they just cannot make a shell, and they'll probably just die out. Coral bleaching has also become a common problem caused by a variety of factors, such as higher temperatures, ocean acidification, and plastic and chemical pollution. Coral bleaching is when the zooplankton living on the algae, giving the coral its food, is disbanded. When the water gets hotter, oh Christ, zooxanthellae produce reactive oxygen species. Oh my god, I don't know what that is. Oh my god, guys, I'm losing it. That react with other chemicals in the polyp, causing coral diseases. They are then expelled, and the coral doesn't have a reliable food source, and even to protect their shells. Coral bleaching can cause the collapse of reef systems and many other species, and leave many species unprotected. This also leaves more room for invasive species to go unchecked. Another symptom of climate change related to coral bleaching is marine heat waves. Marine heat waves are episodes of unusually high, prolonged temperatures. They can last from weeks, months, and years. They have become more common and have been lasting for longer. Marine heat waves change seawater temperatures, which have an adverse effect on practically every living thing in the vicinity. The seawater surface is a good buffer to even out the increased temperature. However, as the ocean water increases by 0.13 Celsius every decade, the lower levels of the sea also get progressively warmer. As you know, the lower levels of the sea are the colder ones, hotter are at the top, so lower levels getting warmer are dangerous. And also, the animals cannot just move down to the colder water. They're not used to the pressure, so they will die anyway. But this amount of change is too fast for the organisms there to adapt. Warming of the oceans has infamously caused a melting of the sea ice in the North and South Poles. As the sea ice melts, there is less coverage on the surface, and the Earth loses albedo. I don't want to say it's albedo. Is it albedo? Ooh. I hope I don't have to present this someday. And the Earth loses albedo. I think it's albedo. Yeah, it's albedo. Sorry. Continuing to make the poles warmer and warmer. The ice capitals also help regulate the rest of the world's temperatures, meaning the world and the poles will continue to get warmer as the sea ice depletes. Northern animals also use sea ice to regulate their own temperatures, as polar bears have thick layers of fur, and sea lions and seals have a lot of blubber to insulate heat. It was also observed that glaciers have held microbes and bacteria from millennia ago and can remain there indefinitely. The good thing about releasing these microbes is that they can start living again as an ancient species. A worrisome effect of the melting is that if these microbes carry pathogens, our immune systems might not be prepared for them. However, as viruses are fragile, they would likely not be held in the ice for too long. When released from the ice, the compost piles from within the ice could release more gases again. All the carbon from the organic matter and under the ice sheets, if converted to carbon dioxide, would equal a decade's worth of emissions from vehicles on roads worldwide, science estimate. Of course, not all of the carbon would convert directly to greenhouse gases, but any release would add... Oh my god, I'm sorry, I got hiccups all of a sudden. Oh my god. Wait, hold on, I gotta get some water. Sorry guys, quick water break. Okay. But any release would add to the huge amount expected from thawing permafrost. Scientific American 1. The massive amounts of melting sea ice causes a rise in ocean temperatures, but also the sea level. MSL, or mean sea level, is measuring where the water appears during all stages of the tide, over a certain time period. Sorry about that. The ocean normally changes levels thousands of years apart, unless there is an event causing the ocean level to be unstable. However, the ocean has changed relatively rapidly, causing a 1.2 millimeter, or 0.05 inches, difference every year since 1900s to the 2000s. Oh, sorry. I think I have a headache all of a sudden. Since then, that measurement has increased, and by 2016, the average change was 3.4 millimeters. 3.4 millimeter, or 0.13 inch rise each year. The millimeters raised, sorry, I was just thinking about whether I should spell millimeters the American way or how the rest of the world says it. The millimeters raised each year is expected to continue increasing, and this could displace millions of people living on the coasts, causing more populated central areas, less places for people to live, less usable farm space, and more terrestrial animals moving inward, and ultimately causing an overpopulation issue. The next paragraph. Oh my god, we're not even halfway through. Oh my god. I forgot how hard I worked on this. Pat myself on the back, guys. Okay, hold on. Guys, gotta give me a break here. How long is this video? It's 23 minutes. Guys, I feel like a scientist right now. It's hot. Oh my god. Okay, this is my favorite paragraph, guys. Counter arguments and questions. Okay. This is the first question. In 1969, the Third Industrial Revolution, which brought the distribution of electronics, computer, and nuclear energy, is seen to have a decrease in global temperatures. Did computers help offset global emissions? The answer. The use of computers was an invention that did not replace any specific negative effects on the environment. Okay, that says did not replace any specific negative effect on the environment. Should it be negative effects? I think it should be yes, negative effects. Guys, I feel like all my essays seem like I'm just like a high schooler talking. I mean, I want it to be like a cool, sciencey words, but I feel like it's not. The widespread use of personal electronics has also increased global carbon emissions, especially since even the poorest countries have mobile devices. The calculations show that in 2019, the analyzed tech companies did not disclose more than 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions along the value chain in their own reports and/or the CDP survey, Science Daily 1. Some of these false reports can make it seem like electronics produce less harmful emissions than they really do. So the explanation is basically the data is probably wrong for why it's so low. Anyway, do changes in the Earth's magnetic field also have an effect on climate? The reason I added this is because my dad was saying that. He always tries to make it seem like climate change is a hoax, climate change is a myth. Even though he loves Elon Musk, I don't think Elon Musk thinks climate change is a myth, but anyway. He likes to be wrong. Earth's magnetic field most likely does not contribute to cooling or changes in global temperature because the atmosphere is not of metallic makeup or ferrous. From an Ask NASA Climate article, there is simply not enough energy aloft to have an influence on climate down where we live. Wait, hold on. What does that mean? There is simply not enough energy aloft to have an influence on climate down where we live. Should it be up where we live? Up where we live? Probably. We don't live down. Up where we live. Solar storms and their electromagnetic interactions only impact Earth's ionosphere. They have no impact on... Oh, wait. Is that what... whatever. They also have no impact on Earth's troposphere or lower stratosphere, or Earth's surface weather, and... Oh, wait! Oh, sorry. That was a quote. That's not my own words. I should leave that down where we live. Sorry, got confused. They have no impact on Earth's troposphere or lower stratosphere, or Earth's surface weather, and subsequently its climate originate. Climate NASA 1. Hold on, guys. I messed up my little... I should put a tab before the question. Should I add numbers where the question is? Shit. Where's tab? Okay, there we go. Why are there segments of cold drops when the Earth's temperatures are continuously increasing? I love this question so much. These cooling periods can be influenced by human activity or be naturally occurring. Although naturally occurring warm periods have not reached the height of the warm period we are in now, some events that can influence the temperature of the globe are high-intensity volcanic eruptions, El Niño or El Niña events, or the position of the Earth in the solar system. This is important because it shows that humans can change the environment through anthropogenic climate change and therefore can reverse it. There have been many trends in the past records of cooling and reheating. What makes it a trend is that it happens for a while, but eventually it heats up again, then continues to cool and repeat the cycle. Okay, I didn't mention this. I'm surprised I did not mention this. Did I mention it later? Here's the thing. Newer climate change, the reason why it's called climate change actually, is because people get confused when it's called global warming, because people are finding that places that, first of all, are normally cold or have crazy weather, like New England, they're noticing that there are more, it gets colder for some reason during the winter, or weather gets more erratic. And that is because with climate change, there is more things affecting, it's not just getting hotter, the weather gets more erratic. And that means that it can get colder. Really cold. I thought I mentioned that, but I'll add a little note to myself. Erratic weather, question mark? Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I have a little infographic. Global temperature change over the past, over the past 2019 years. So, as you can see in this graph, it's very alarming. Before, you couldn't see a lot of it. You could see, like, up into maybe, like, the 1800s. Now we're seeing that since apparently fucking the beginning of record keeping, the 100th, was it? It's AD after death, yeah. So it's probably 100 AD. The temperature is slightly higher, slightly. Like, I don't even think it's a change in Celsius, but it looks a little bit tinier. I don't even know. What is the, oh my god. Greenhouse effect discovered. I believe that is what's making it look more. All the way to, let's say, 900 AD. It's almost stagnant. It's almost the same. Then we hit the medieval warm period, where it starts to get lower. The temperature starts to get lower, even though it says the Tianchi eruption and the Samalis eruption. Although it looks like, no, where the Tianchi eruption looks, it looks like it gets a little bit higher. And this is like right before the medieval warm period. And then after the Samalis eruption, it seems to get lower. So that's a little bit odd. It's a little bit weird. Maybe I should go into that. Why it seems to be getting lower after that. Medieval warm period is also weird because the climate is it's going down, like the temperature is going down during the warm period. That doesn't make any sense. That graph does not work here. Well, anyway. Little Ice Age. That makes sense. The climate change is quite down. Modern warming discovered about, let's say, 1910, 1920. If you're looking at this graph right now, I don't even have to explain. You can see that the temperature we're at now is higher than anything we've ever recorded in the history of ever. People don't understand that this is not normal. This is not a normal change for Earth. Even, like I said, Little Ice Age, little time it was a little bit cold, it was nowhere near as drastic as the increase in temperature that we're seeing now. It was nowhere near as below where we are. It is something that needs to be paid attention to. It's dire. This graph illustrates that Earth's current warming period is anything but normal. However, recent climate studies have shown that there's no such thing as a cooling trend. There is no such, recent studies have shown that there is no such cooling trend, and if there are, it is insignificant to the quickly rising global temperature. I'm looking at the little graph. I don't really see any cooling trend. If global warming, okay, wait, that's another question. I gotta tab that. If global warming is causing temperatures to rise all around the world, why are temperatures hitting all-time lows? This is what I was talking about. Okay, so I can delete what I said earlier up here. I wanted to make sure I included that because people really, they try and find any reason why to not believe that climate change is a problem. It's so annoying. Okay, a common misconception about climate change is the term global warming. Global warming incites an image of rising heat waves in every area of the world. While that is not always true, climate change also causes extreme weather events such as record low cold snaps. Simple answer, simple question. What can we do to help, / what is being done? We're looking at population and CO2 emissions from 1750 to 2015. Oh my god. Okay, so we're looking at the world population carbon dioxide. It looks like they're about the same. So, look at the graph, guys. To find the solution to climate change, we have to address that climate change is not caused by one factor. Some that have not been considered or studied yet. However, we can assume by the multiple connections that have been made that humans have had an impact on the environment much more than they once did. Wait, I have the same graph. Oh my god. I put the same graph on this page than I did the first page. Oh my god. Oh my god, I messed up. I gotta find a new graph. Hold on. Wait, can I add my own comment? I can't add a comment. How do I add comments, guys? Okay. Doesn't matter, I'll figure it out. Well, you know what, I'll just change the color. It should be like, why is the color changing right there? Hold on, guys. Stick with me here, guys. Wait, oh my god, I messed up. Oh my god, this is so long. I hope this is impressive because I feel like, I'm so mad. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough for our Earth. I'm so mad about it. As the human population growth increased, carbon emissions went up as well. Farming and deforestation also contribute to carbon emissions. The rate of decline was almost rapid in the 1950s and 1960s, and dropped off thereafter until the 1990s, when the number stayed about constant. Economic History Service 1. This spike corresponds to the years that World War II took place. I need to add I, because they like I, instead of two. Because why? They're old people. This spike corresponds with the years that World War II took place. This spike's peak is around 1955, while the drop... was around 1945, while the drop is about 1950. What happened in World War II that could have caused the spike? There was heavy use of nuclear weapons that killed wildlife and destroyed farmland and vegetation. The scorched earth tactic had also destroyed land and wildlife in an attempt to scare the local populace into submission and making enemy territory unusable. The fall of that spike assumes that whatever happened during that time was no longer being employed or is buffered out by the environment. So whatever happened during this time that increased global temperature, it had not to do with carbon emissions, the gas that makes up most of the harm in the environment. While we don't know what the clear cause of climate change is, we can focus on what we know now, that these harmful greenhouse gases, which consist of methane, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, and the most common greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide, are one of the biggest reasons climate change is happening, and it is something that humans can help to diminish. But if we want our efforts to pay off, we need to start as soon as possible. There are some ways that we have tried to remove greenhouse gases from the air, like renewable energy sources. Okay, guys, I think we're almost done. Hold on, where are we? Okay, we got like three more pages. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all. Solar energy seems like an infinite source of energy. However, it is unlikely that heavily populated and polluted areas like New York City would fit or receive enough sunlight to power the whole city. Using methane as fuel could be considerable for a few countries that lie near it. However, it costs a hefty fine to transport it across the US and UK, as the countries that contain the most of it are in Central Asia, the Middle East, or the Arctic Circle. As there are many factors in deciding which energy source should be used, each country should decide which would be the most cost-efficient and environmentally friendly option. But how do we clean up the gas emissions in the atmosphere right now? If you are considering these excess gases a type of trash, then there must be a way of containing them. There are many technologies attempting to contain a concentrated stream of carbon dioxide, liquefy it, and return it to the ground. This process is called geologic sequestration, although it has its limits. It can only take a small amount compared to all of Earth. It requires large facilities, and it can only take carbon dioxide from currently running factories that produce carbon dioxide. I should probably say that produce it, instead of repeating myself. That produce it. But what if we change the way factories use energy? Assuming that most American energy plants will continue to use fossil fuels, we can use new technologies to use them more effectively with less atmospheric garbage. Some factory procedures have altered the way coal emits toxic gases. By using an integrated gasified combined cycle, fuel companies can combine the coal and a mixture of other gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and which one is that? Is that methane? CH4? Yes, it is methane. With a steam, the pollutants can be filtered out, creating synthesis gas, or syngas. Together, this gas is a high-power clean fuel. When the emissions are sequestered, this process can create a zero-emission plant, ZEP. In September 1987, the Montreal Protocol was an international agreement to ban the usage of ODS, or ozone-depleting substances, to protect the ozone layer from further damage. All countries ratified the treaty, including the Holy See. Wait, is it Holy See like eyes, or is it Holy See like sea? Oh, shit, that doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, it is C. Okay. Okay. And the state of Palestine. Since then, the ozone layer has been replenishing slowly. As the Montreal Protocol was an example of a successful attempt at restoring an environmental problem, the creation of fluorinated gases was not successful in all aspects. Fluorinated gases are synthetic materials created as substitutes for ozone-depleting substances, such as It's CFCs, right? Not CFCS? CFCS. I think it's CFCs. Shit. Wait. Oh, no. Hold on, guys. CFCs. Is it? Yep. Okay, it's a lowercase s. I was confused by that. Guys, making progress. I hope wait. Oh no, it said. Okay. Hence, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HFCs, were created. Is it hydrochlorofluorocarbons? It's a lowercase s, isn't it? Okay. I'm just gonna trust that it's a lowercase s. Oh, were created. But instead of depleting the ozone layer, these new gases heated the environment more than any other natural greenhouse gas. F gases are powerful greenhouse gases, with a global warming effect up to 25,000 times greater than carbon dioxide. European Commission 1. Both of these synthetic gases did more harm than good for the environment. But what can you do to prevent the pollution of the environment? Some people become climatologists, or activists for anti-pollution or anti-climate change. Wait, hold on. Anti-climate change awareness? That seems like... Okay, I should not put anti-climate change awareness. I should just put climate change awareness. Climatologists or activists for anti-pollution or climate change awareness. Assuming you want to make a change in your everyday life, pay attention to what your items are made out of and what gases come from sprays you use. Single-use plastic products are one of the biggest pollutants in the ocean and or land. Plastic water bottles can be replaced by reusable water bottles, and plastic bags can be reused. Or you can buy cotton, jute, or handmade grocery tote. I should probably put organic cotton. Organic cotton. Organic cotton. Or handmade grocery tote. What is important is that you reuse any objects for most of its life, and recycle them afterwards. Although most recycled products put in recycling bins don't get recycled at all, and they're just thrown into landfills. Burning plastics are also not advised, as this can release microplastics into the atmosphere. And so continues the long-winded debate about how, or if, we should continue to use plastics. Try and find a reliable way to recycle products you no longer use, making sure that they will take your plastic and actually recycle it into something new. Visit the Plastic Film Recycling website or Earth 911 to find a location near you that recycles plastic bags and plastic wrap/film, EPA 1. What does this mean for the future of the Earth? I believe this is the final paragraph. The rate that global warming is increasing should be alarming. As more solar radiation is held in the atmosphere, the more energy is kept into Earth, which is causing a recent increase in extreme weather occurrences. Some of these weather conditions cause a cycle of climate destruction that will be complicated to stop. Flooding caused by more water evaporation and more water in the ocean will flood towns. causing there to be more unnatural pollutants in the soil. Flooding in farmland, like rice paddies, by natural river flooding or human irrigation methods, produces more methane because of decomposing plant matter, like in stagnant water. Deforestation contributes to increased CO2 emissions because of the releasing of carbon dioxide from cut down trees, plants, and shrubs. Other extreme weather events are monster blizzards, intense blizzards up to Category 5s, droughts that last for months, or wildfires, of which the worst happening in the past approximate century. It's possible that climate change headed in this direction could produce the next ice age, or a total extinction of humans because of the hotter and hotter temperatures. Scientists cannot predict what the world might come to. The reasons that climate change is occurring are not absolute or conspicuous. There are many factors, naturally or artificially woven into our environment, affecting our planet. This is not the last paragraph, by the way, I'm sorry. We would be wrong to assume it was only one thing that could change it all. However, activism and mainstream acknowledgement of this possible impending disaster could help make all the difference. Why is there so much opposition to climate change? The conclusion. Okay, this is really the last paragraph. And it's the smallest one, don't worry. Climate change is an issue that affects us all. It is easier to believe climate change is not something humans can control. You will have less responsibility. People may feel guilty about their habits. You can do more without thinking about its impact on the environment and all of life. All scary thoughts would be easier to deal with if it wasn't important. Hold on, you will have less responsibility. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Sometimes, even though it's hard, you should address your mistakes so you can make progress. Aside from individual responsibility, some major companies do not want to change the way they use products, create, or recycle them, because it would be stressful financially. Politicians use fear to drive their own political beliefs for their benefit, and most major American parties are guilty of that. A lot of opposition to climate change is from politicians, economics, lawyers, political scientists, or other people who aren't qualified to speak against the current climate crisis. These anti-climate change protesters are often sometimes sponsored or given money by oil companies like Exxon. We have to understand that these changes won't happen overnight, and it will be less overwhelming if we address them now before we reach the tipping point of global warming. The human race has to believe that there is time to turn our mistakes around, because if we can't, we won't. And what is there to gain from doing that? Yay, guys! Oh my god, it's 47 minutes! And that is so long, and if you look in citations, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 pages of citations. So don't fucking come at me, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because my dad does this to me all the time. He's like, well, I'm older than you, so I know more than you. And then my brother comes to my defense. He's like, Sam wrote a freaking huge-ass essay about it, so why are you qualified to talk about it and she's not? Please leave your thoughts about my essay in the comments, please, because I want this to be really impressive to whoever's reading it. I want this to be something that people look at and they can take this and they can think this is real and this is a problem, because I swear to God, it's something I think about all the time. It's something I feel like I'm not doing enough for. I feel like there's something else that we should be doing as a human race. And we're trying. We are making progress. I believe that we are. But people just, I can't believe we're at a time where people don't all agree that this is a problem. Because it would be hard. It would be hard, okay? And I know making the change and even thinking about that you may have an issue, you may be a problem, is hard. And there are some things like being poor, not being able to afford food, having to pay money to eat, like with McDonald's or something. Although McDonald's does make they do use recycled trays. I know about that. My bunny can eat those trays, so I know about that. Knowing about the fast fashion, a lot of the problems come from these companies that sell to poor people, and poor people can't help it because they need to have clothes, they need to eat food, and a lot of the cheap clothes are polyester, friggin' spandex, nylon, bad foods that are not healthy, And even foods that are healthy, sometimes they have environmental consequences too. Freaking almonds use a lot of water, I guess. Meats, you also use a lot of water and food to grow. There's some things that it's gonna be hard to change, but some things we know we should be changing it, and we just don't, and it pisses me off. We need to make strides quicker as a society because, like I said, the tipping point means that we are going to get to a point where the world gets so hot that we cannot change it. At least that's what scientists predict, that we will not be able to fix this at some point. And it pisses me off. I hate that there's still people in this world who are so convinced that climate change is a hoax. Fucking Joe Rogan knows it's not a hoax. Joe Rogan? You know that guy? Fucking, come on. I didn't even realize. My boyfriend watches the Joe Rogan podcast, and at first I was like, oh, from my experience of people that told me things about him, he's probably not good. He might be putting bad thoughts in his head. But he believed in climate change. And I was like, wow, I'm actually blown away, because most of the time, these people who, to be honest, I didn't want to include this in my essay, but I learned about it, people who tend to be Republican, they tend to think that climate change is an issue. I don't know why. I fucking... And most people agree with me, which is the weird thing. Most people I talk to, they agree with me about climate change. And if they don't, I can throw those facts at them, man. I can answer almost every fucking question because I wrote this essay. I spent so much time researching it. I can just, even if I don't know the specific answer, I will tell you I don't know for sure, but in my educated guesstimate, I know what the answer should be. I've been through so much in this essay. I've worked so hard on this essay. And my dad pisses me off. I'm starting to rant about this because I told him, I wrote this essay. I worked so hard on this essay. And we had a discussion Thanksgiving Day. We were at my aunt's house, and I was talking about climate change. I went through 15 minutes of talking to him about how I have all the answers to his questions about climate change. And eventually, I always made good points. Okay? I'm gonna be honest, I made good points. My brother was there right next to me. And my dad said at the end, we agreed to disagree. It's just like, why do people ignore science when it doesn't benefit them? And I don't understand how people don't realize that climate change will affect them. It'll affect other people first. And it'll affect your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren more than it will you now. You are being selfish by not realizing this. And people do not want to deal with the hard facts here. And the thing is, you can just agree with it. You can be a hypocrite, to be honest. It's not good. But as long as you agree that it's real, it can help change people's mind. We don't need to have all these people saying that all this shit is bullshit. And it's so annoying because it's like, why would you take the risk? What is there to lose? Anyway. Okay. I need to go. Guys. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I gotta take my antibiotic pills. It's so important to me. It's so important to so many people who realize it. And it's just like, you're risking everyone's life. You're risking so much of people's lives by focusing your energy on such dumb shit. And people they feel like this is political somehow. Some things do not have to be political, but they are made political by people who are trying to gain stuff from it. And it's not fair. Because we need to take this out of a political situation. We need to make this fact. We need to make people realize this. I need to share this essay. I'm going to go on Facebook, where all the old people are, and I'm going to share this fucking essay, okay? I'm going to ask the same thing. I'm going to ask, guys, please, tell me, what you think, dude. What you think. Because, first of all, no one ever in the history of ever will convince me that I'm wrong about this. Because there's no fucking way that there's some deep conspiracy going on. I can see the effects now. I thought I made a video about this, but I can see that, first of all, plants are blooming earlier, which really fucking concerned me because it was like March and fucking plants were starting to bloom. That's not normal. April showers bring May flowers, okay? What happened to that? Now it's fucking February frost brings March. Fuck off. I don't know, but I'm so mad. And I'm so upset. I'm so mad, and like, people will start to care once it affects them specifically, and it's gonna be really shitty things like, oh, my summer was shit, it was really cloudy, because it pisses me off too. But I get to be pissed off because I am invested in this. Okay, I'm invested. And people are not, and then they just complain, and they're like, why is this happening? I'll tell you why it's happening, because climate change, and it's not just your fault, okay? We can put blame on major companies, it's fine, but you have to admit that there's a problem, please. For the sake of everyone in the world, literally everyone in the world. Your children, your animals, your food, your water, it will be all fucked. We will be fucked. Humans are going to go extinct. You are not too old to care about everyone else. You're not too old to care about your health or yourself or your family, okay? So let's stop getting this fucking idea that people are just like, oh, I'm too old. I'm like in my 80s. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about the world. I'm gonna die soon. What about your family? What about your children? What about your daughters and your sons and your grandchildren? And the people who live, your ancestors, I mean, your descendants that will live way longer than you. They're gonna have to deal with the problems that you caused. And a lot of people blame baby boomers, so that's why baby boomers do not want to deal with it, because they know that things that involve them cause these issues, so they don't want to deal with it, okay? But we need to deal with it. We need to come together as a society. We need to stop. We need to stop this. Okay. This video is almost an hour. I can't believe I thought my essay was going to be 20 minutes. It was 40 minutes. And I'm taking the 7 minutes that 47 minutes is going to be me just talking. And now it's 50 minutes. So it's like 10 extra minutes of me talking. It's just so hard. It's so hard. The thing is, most people just don't care. And it's like, how could you not care about this? How? It's not like things people don't care about, they might have sympathy for, they might have empathy for, like homelessness or fucking school shootings, fine. But this will affect the whole world. This is not something to fuck around with. It's not something that we don't know how to solve. So, take some personal responsibility. At least share awareness for it. Even if you're gonna fucking go out wearing your fucking leather shoes and your fucking polyester clothes, as long as you just say something, because there will be people who see it and then they're like, oh, I am going to change, and they'll change for you, okay? Just do something, please, just do something. Okay, I gotta go. This video is almost an hour. It's gonna take fucking forever to upload this video. This is important, guys. This is important. This is important. Ah, it's late. I'm gonna go. Check yourself. Check yourself. Bye.